guys, welcome back to another video. This week's video is a very interesting, fun topic for me, and it's all about embracing your inner mermaid or siren or sea witch and exploring ocean witchcraft and ocean magic. And it's interesting for me because the ocean has always been a very fascinating but terrifying thing for me. I grew up in a landlocked state, so I was never around the ocean as a kid. I never took swim lessons, so I am not a great swimmer. And I just find it very crazy that the earth is covered in 70% ocean and we've only explored 5% of that. So that's like mind-blowing to me. There's so many mysteries down there. It's terrifying. There's so much we don't know about the ocean, and there's so much magic within the unknown. And that's why I find this to just be so interesting and so fun and uncomfortable for me to put myself in situations that normally I would not do. And yeah, so it kind of all started this summer. I felt my entire life this calling to the ocean, but also this, like I said, fear. The last couple of years I've been living near the ocean, first time in my entire life, and I barely ever go. And a lot of it has to do with crowds because I really just don't like being around people, strangers specifically. But the other thing is I have this fear. I have this fear of the ocean. And this summer I just started feeling this voice in me telling me to go to the ocean, to explore it more, to embrace the magic of it, the mystery. I've been wanting to paint more ocean-like things. I've been wanting to wear more ocean-inspired clothing and jewelry. It's really interesting, and so I feel like it's important to lean into that when your intuition is telling you to do something. There's a lot of magic in that, and so I think, I don't know, whenever I follow that, it tends to lead me to something good. So that's what this video is. It's all about me trying things that make me uncomfortable that have to do with something I've been so afraid of for so long but have this strong calling to. Kind of connecting with the ocean and the sea and the beach, and in a way that I've never done before, and it made me very uncomfortable a lot of the time, specifically while I was in the water or putting myself out there. As far as like filming myself on the beach is very weird. I don't normally film myself in public, so that was a big like getting over my own ego type of thing. And I found that I feel a really strong connection to sea witchcraft. And I think if anyone's watched me for a while, you will know that I'm very connected to green witchcraft, and I love to garden. I love the forest. I've always been very drawn to that sort of world. But I think you can sort of flow in between what feels right in that moment, and you don't have to stick yourself in a specific box. And I had a user comment that on one of my videos about how you shouldn't stick yourself in a specific box when it comes to witchcraft. And I thought that was such a beautiful comment. I've been thinking about that a lot this summer. So I forget your name, but whoever commented that, thank you so much. It put my brain into a new perspective, because I think sometimes I categorize things like, oh, I'm this, so I can't be that. But witchcraft is all just about embracing energy and embracing the earth. And obviously the water, and obviously the oceans are a huge part of the earth. So I wanted to explore that more in this video. I put on a very beachy cardigan. I feel like it goes really well with the vibe of this video. And it's very cute. This mug is like a very cute beachy little mug from Target. It says, "Take me to the beach." And then I also have, this is all to set the mood, I also have gummy worms and Scandinavian swimmers from Trader Joe's. And if you've ever seen Aquamarine, that you will know this is her favorite food, the mermaid, because she's a fish and she loves worms. Very cute movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch that movie. Oh yeah, and then speaking of, also, these earrings I thought are so cute. They're like the little starfish from Aquamarine that give compliments. They compliment her, and it just reminds me of that. I've been wearing them so much this summer. They're from Fable England, so I have a discount code for Fable England, by the way, so I'll put that below. I don't know if they still have these right now because they're going more into their fall lines, but still, every season they have the cutest jewelry. And then this necklace and this bracelet, matching ones, are from a brand which I cannot remember the name of, but I will link below as well. They're actually waterproof, like ocean waterproof jewelry, and I've been wearing those a lot this summer since I've been in the water quite a bit more than usual. So yeah, before I get into anything else in this video, I do want to address the tiny elephant in the room, which is our new kitty Calliope. She has the most beautiful eyes I have ever seen. She just waved at you. Speaking of ocean theme, her eyes are like literal coastal tide pools. They're so beautiful. She is a British Longhair, and she is so sweet. Such a endearing, brave little personality. She is so sassy when she wants to be, and loves to squeak at me and constantly try to trip me because she's always rubbing up on my legs. And yeah, we love her so much already. She's already a big cuddler with Chris. She loves to cuddle with me right here. But yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of her in videos. So she brings the grand total of pets in this house to 5, which is hilarious because when Chris met me, we had 0 pets, or he had 0 pets. I had 2 dogs, and now we have 3 cats and 2 dogs. We're just really big animal lovers. I just wanted to introduce her in case you see her and you're like, where did this little fluff ball come from? She's a new pet. Like me too, man. Oh my goodness, she's trying to eat my shoes. Give me one break. This is one of my favorite candies. I think the calling to the ocean is very feminine. I think the ocean is a very feminine energy. The ocean is connected to the moon, and the moon is connected to women because women have cycles. The moon has a cycle, so it all feels very connected. And I think that that energy is constantly flowing cyclically. And yeah, I want to dive right in. No pun intended. So I hope this video helps you kind of step into your power and being uncomfortable and being somewhere that you normally wouldn't put yourself. Like I said, I'm very uncomfortable with the ocean. I'm very uncomfortable with being in public and filming myself. I'm very uncomfortable with the unknown, and all of those things combined created this beautiful video. And I really hope that you enjoy it and you find it inspiring, or if anything, just a fun video about mermaids and sea witchcraft. But let's go ahead and get started. Look at those eyes. Good morning. We're gonna go take a dip. You wanna come? Oh, it's a little cold. Oh, you can see fish. Oh my gosh. That's so fun. Just look at all the little fish. Alright, we're gonna get out here. We're gonna dunk. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, that's a big one. Alright, we're gonna dunk. Here, that's a better view of the sunrise. Alright, ready? And go. Woo! I can't wait to go on water. Alright, let's go swimming. go play mermaids? Come on. Let's go. I don't want to play mermaids. I already played mermaids. Right now I'm going to be making some sand dollar cookies, and I know that's not really like Sea Witchcraft or mermaidy or anything, but it just reminds me of the sea, and I love to bake. And I think part of the fun thing with these videos is just kind of like really committing to the bit and leaning into a theme. My cats. I'm really leaning into the theme. I just like to find a recipe that kind of goes with whatever theme of the video is, and I found this on Pinterest and it just looked really cute and wasn't like too over the top, and I'm a very novice baker, so I needed something that was really simple, and this looked really good, so we're gonna go ahead and start doing that. This would not be a video from me unless I gave you some book recommendations. So I have 3 today, and only one of them is actually a novel. The other 2 are more informational, but I think they're really useful and helpful in this type of discovery of a new craft. So the first one is The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I felt very inspired after reading this book to make this video because I think the way that she blends fantasy with real world problems that women deal with is so relatable on such a deep intrinsic level. And basically this book jumps back and forth between the 1800s and following 2 sisters on their journey from Ireland to Australia, and 2 sisters in present day who are currently living in Australia. And the more you read, the more you see what the connection is between the 2 time periods and the 2 sets of sisters. And you also start to unravel a lot of mysteries that start throughout the beginning of the book. And she just blends it so beautifully. She blends the atmosphere of Australia and the natural landscape of the coastline in Australia, and mystery and lore. And it's such a beautifully written book. I felt so deeply called to the ocean after that. This is probably my favorite book I've read this year so far, which is funny because her other book, Wayward, which I also read this year, was my favorite book until I read this one. Her topics are generally about women, at least the 2 books that I read. They're stories about women and what women go through, and if they could choose to deal with living in a patriarchal world, what they would do, whether that's turning to witchcraft or turning into a mermaid and running away to the sea. These things are, I think, when we're really young, we wish we could do, run away to the forest and just be a forest witch, or, turn into a siren and escape
the man's world entirely, and she just plays into that idea, that fantasy. The reason that they're being taken from Ireland to Australia is they are deemed criminals for acts of basically violence, but they were really just self-defense. Obviously, violence against women has been something that has been throughout history and is still prevalent today, and is still an issue today, and that is kind of the topic of this book. She does a very good job of talking about it gently and not too graphic, because I think sometimes, for me personally, it can be a little bit tough to watch or read a very graphic telling of violence against women, and she doesn't go into it too much. It's sort of alluded to it, but it's also a topic that needs to be talked about and can't just be like, you know, thrown to the side and pretend it doesn't exist. It follows their entire journey living in this very cramped, damp, dirty vessel of a ship at the very bottom, and the way that the sailors treat them, and how they end up building a sisterhood together underneath this ship. And eventually, as the story goes on, you understand why she talks about these two sisters and what their connection is with the sisters in the present. I won't talk too much more about it because I want you to read it and unravel the mysteries on your own, but it just really inspired me. I think it's a really good book for women to read. Anyway, very, very good book. Highly recommend. Okay, so the next book is called Mermaids, very on the nose for today's video, and this is really just kind of a textbook about mermaids, so it's not a cover-to-cover read, but if you're interested in learning more about the lore behind mermaids and how basically every single culture in the world throughout history has some version of a mermaid, this is the book for you. It's very fascinating. I didn't know that there is basically a mermaid in every single culture. Obviously, they call it something else and they describe it differently. It looks different. A lot of them, you know, some are bad, some are good, some are not even humanoid. Yeah, it's just a very interesting book to dive into if you want to learn more about actual myth and lore of mermaids. And then the last book is Sea Magic. This is by Sandra Kynes or Keynes. This is a really great resource if you're trying to learn more about sea witchcraft. I used this to understand how to use shells in an altar and in my own practice. Shells, I mean, this is very obvious, but again, I'm a very baby witch. Shells can be used like crystals, and each shell has its own meaning and its own value and its own energy that it can provide. And so when you're collecting shells, it's important to understand, how can I use this shell in my practice? And how can I channel this energy into what I'm looking for? So really cool book. I annotated a lot. Also, the cover is beautiful. It inspired an altar that I made on the beach. Yeah, it's very cool. Just, again, not a cover-to-cover read for me, but just something like a resource to go back and forth through.
Really quick, I wanted to show you my mermaid-inspired outfit. So this dress is from Free People, and it's probably my favorite dress from Free People. I have like a lot of different dresses, but I have this one in black, and I decided to get it in aquamarine, I guess. I forget what they actually called it on the website, but I'll link it below. It's just very mermaidy and summery, and I just love it so much. And then that necklace I had in the beginning, I just thought these earrings kind of remind me of like little shells. And then I want to show you my hair. So I did like a little braid. I'm not very good at braiding, to be honest, but sometimes a messy braid is the vibe. So I did a braid, and then I put these little seashell clips that I found and put them all throughout my hair, and I just thought it looked really cute, and I just wanted to show you my little mermaidy outfit because it's very fun to just lean into a vibe sometimes.